One of the first things that I want to talk about with oil paint is that there are some safety considerations that you should have before establishing a home studio. Now, a lot of people think that oil painting is inherently a little bit dangerous because there are chemicals and solvents and heavy metals and all of these things. And although that is true, many of the risks can be easily mitigated so long as you are aware of them. One other consideration is that some oil paints do have heavy metals. You'll find maybe lead white or cadmium red, and the oil paint itself is not inherently dangerous, but it is the concentration of these metals in this paint. Now, with these heavy metal paints, you're going to want to look out for accidental ingestion. So obviously you're not eating the paint, but you should wash your hands after you paint or use gloves. Another quick note, a lot of people worry about wet rags in the trash. So when paint oxidizes, it releases a small amount of heat, and that amount of heat might be enough to start a fire. So a good rule of thumb, both with solvents and with paint, is to not put anything bunched up and wet directly into the trash, especially not an unsealing trash. So I recommend a sealing trash, and generally you're gonna wanna let things dry out before you do put them in the trash. I don't wanna overblow this concern. I've never had a problem with it. I don't use a ton of solvent in the first place, and I certainly don't put just wet paint straight into my trash can. So generally you'll be fine, but be aware that this is something that you might need to research on your own in order to understand with your own level of comfort and paint usage how you might best set up your studio. Finally, a few environmental considerations are that much like how you wouldn't want to ingest heavy metals or toxic paint, please don't contaminate the water supply by putting any solvents or paint directly down the sink. By the time that you are washing your brushes or doing anything like that, you really should be rinsing minimal, if any, pigment down the drain when you're cleaning your brushes. Dispose of your trash responsibly. If you're using large amounts of paint trash and you find that you've used a lot of these heavy metal pigments, please take it to a hazardous waste facility. That being said, it shouldn't be a huge amount of friction added to your oil painting practice. I personally find that there are elements of painting that are more uncomfortable than others, and with this slight amount of work, you're making sure that you are keeping yourself safe as well as everybody around you. So paint responsibly and try to make the most of it.